All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, Kofi, it's a pleasure to be joined by one of our student athletes on the FAMU football team, none other than redshirt-senior from Jacksonville, Florida, number 88, Nicholas. We're going to call him Nick from here on out, Nick Dixon. Nick, how you doing this evening, my man?
I'm good. How are y'all?
That boy good.
Hey, good to be good.
Nah,
Thanks
I'm
for
good.
coming on with us. All right,
No
thanks for
problem.
coming on with us, man. You guys, who, if you're not familiar, you need to make sure you follow Nick on Twitter _ throw it up to 88. That's where you can find him on Twitter, and I believe that's also the Instagram is throw it up to _ 88. So that's where you can find him on Instagram. And, obviously, Nick is a great follow on Twitter. He's a young man who speaks his mind. He's not shy whatsoever. So before we get into talking to Nick about all things like that, finished up the redshirt junior year this past year, where you got a chance to participate in like 10 games. You got a touchdown this year. Talk a little bit about this season for you and what to build on to 23 after this past year.
Well, going into this season, I changed back to playing wide receiver. I played that my freshman year, so this year I got to get back in the groove of things, kind of get back comfortable out wide, and I'm really just trying to stack a really good year this year. I hope I can surprise a lot of people.
Nice. What talk from the outside? We saw the challenges that your teammates and the coaching staff went through this year, and the fact that the way the season ended, man, with the win against Bethune. I mean, it is truly your team, the coaching staff will forever be remembered as one of those stories that we will talk about. What was it like inside? Give us behind the scenes on what some of the daily challenges were, or just the messaging that maybe something that we might not have seen or missed that you can share about this past year and the challenges and what it took to just win 9 games to have that opportunity at the end of the year to even sniff an opportunity to play in the playoffs.
Well, going into North Carolina week, a lot of us got declared. They told us we couldn't travel. They told us we weren't going to be able to play. So, we preach a lot of faith. Coach Simmons is a man of God, so he preaches faith a lot. So, North Carolina game, I think it was 26 of us. And they may have got the number down a little bit, but it was like 26 of us that couldn't go. And then Jackson State week, it was probably down to 15. It was, I know the Friday before the game, me, Isaiah Land, Cam Coven, and BJ all got cleared. And they got us down there. Not to make an excuse, respect to Jackson State. That was a tough loss. That's the worst loss I've been a part of in a game where I dressed out in college. So that was a tough loss. Props to them and a great season by them. A lot of us we weren't really practicing that week because they got down to Miami early, so it was really a quick turnaround. Things didn't really shake out how we wanted to, but Coach Simmons kept preaching faith, and we knew after we lost that game that they're probably going to win out. Though we're the 2 best teams in the SWAC, we both feel like 2 top dogs, and it's kind of crappy that we're on the same side of the bracket. So we preach that we're gonna have to make a run. We're gonna have to win a bunch of games. And we saw last year that if you put a whole bunch of games together, they'll put you in. So from there on out, it really felt like a movie. A lot of us got close. We bonded. We knew like we can't slip up not once. And honestly, we know in that locker room we could have played better this season. We know that. We know that we had some struggles offensively a little bit. Not big struggles enough to win, but we weren't dominating like we knew we could. So, towards the end of the year, I think Bethune game, you saw like, all right, this was a complete game right here. Like they're really doing it. And we thought it was enough to get in, but voters, other people respect how they feel. They didn't put us in, so that just closed the chapter. I feel bad for guys like Zay Smith and Zay Land. Their last game, yeah, it was a win, but it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. We really felt like we could play with anybody. And I stand on that. Me and my teammates, we stand on that. We could play with anybody.
All right. Kelvin, go ahead.
Nick, I follow you. Well, I see you active on social media all the time, man, and I really enjoy you because of your transparency and honesty. And you'll go there, right? Sometimes other teams, players from other teams, A&T, might say little things or what have you, and you engage, man, and I appreciate that. Just tell me. For you, social media, your social media presence, is that, are you trying to accomplish anything with that platform, or is that just you being you? Is enjoyment? Has it something that's grown? Just tell me, what's what's the deal with your social media presence?
So it's funny. I've always been like this. I've always been vocal, outgoing, I've always been unapologetically me. So I didn't have Instagram in high school at all. Like my parents knew he's gonna run his mouth. Let's not give him somewhere else where he can maybe damage his future, maybe say something that he wish he could take back. But I remember going into 11th grade, I was like, I got a Twitter. And it was thrown up to 87, or it was Nick Dixon 87. I had caught a touchdown, and there was this dude, his name's Huey Productions, his name's Terrence Huey. Everybody go check him out. He makes videos for the local Tallahassee area. I don't know if he still does it, but he used to make little mixtapes for us. And he said they threw it up to 88, and I was like, I kind of like that. And I kind of made it my Twitter name, and that was my first social media, so that's why I kind of have a little following. So I've always ran with it from there, and I always knew that my parents didn't really have social media like that. So I was like, I can really just say how I feel. I knew not to curse, not to be overly disrespectful to anybody. I was like, I can be me though. So I kind of use social media as that. I use that as an outlet to just let people know how I feel. Like whether you want to know how I feel or not, I'm gonna post how I feel because that's my social media. That's my thing. Like I know I own that. Like that's one thing I know nobody gave me. I had the option to get the app. Yeah, like the app gave it to me, but I used it.
Okay.
Man, yeah. I like that boy right there. All right, so we gonna stay in the current events in the current flow. I wanted to talk about what's it like to play for Coach Simmons. What's it like? I mean, you've been under him for a minute. What kind of leader is it? What is it like to play for him? And just comment on that, and I'll respond after you respond.
It's really a blessing. It gives you a look into his life too. I can see he's kind of a family man. I can see that. I see he cares. And he's a down to earth man. He's not really real out there. Like you can catch him. You can catch him walking. Like I remember one day I was leaving campus and he was walking around like Tallahassee. And I was like, that's kind of funny. It's like I didn't really expect to see my head coach walking. So but I was a part of the first group that Coach Simmons got in here, so I've really seen everything change. Like I remember the first group of seniors that we had. Some of them were telling me about all the losses they had. And I was like, I can honestly say I've never had a losing season in college, and that's a blessing. Like I really appreciate Coach Simmons for that because he is the mastermind behind all of this. He does everything for a reason, and you can tell. So I do appreciate that. He cares about his players. I've had some things happen to me while I've been here. I've had, you lose people, you get hurt, things happen. He's always checked on me. I remember I got into a car wreck. Thank God I'm still here. I got into a car wreck probably a month and a half ago. Totaled my car. I called Coach Simmons. It was probably 12 o'clock at night. It was late. Called him. He answered in 3 rings. Just like that. There's not many coaches. I don't think there's many coaches you can call at 12 o'clock at night and they just going to answer. So, it's really a blessing. And he knows football. He knows ball. I know that. My family's from Jacksonville, but I was raised here in Tallahassee, so I know about Coach Simmons. I know about him. I went to Godby High School. Like, we heard about Shotgun Simmons over there at Quincy. I had coaches, like, when he got the job at FAMU, they were letting us know, like, he gonna bring the city back. Like, he's gonna get kids here. And, you know, I watch football all day, every day. Like, I don't really watch TV. I go to YouTube, cut on football. I watch football all day. So I went back and looked at games of my coach. It's great being able to see that he did it. Like, I'm a firm believer in, like, if I saw you do it, I have more faith in you. So, you know, that's a big thing too. And I cannot preach enough. He cares. Like, some people may have different feelings about him. I know he cares. He's shown that he's cared about me. I can say that.
Hubbard, man. So on the flip side, you know, we had a lot of, I want to say, as they say on Star Wars, it was a disturbance in the HBCU force this last week with Ed Reed and our counterparts down there in Daytona with Bethune. So I wanted to get your opinion, your thoughts on that in terms of what you felt about his comments. What was going through your mind when he made those comments?
I'm a huge Ed Reed fan. I didn't play defense, but I was a huge Ed Reed fan growing up, you know. And I know he's passionate. So I saw myself in him because I have gone to social media sometimes before when I was younger. And, you know, it's not an excuse to do it, but I've done it before. I've went on social media, said some things I shouldn't have said, and it was just out of the love or the passion I have for something. You know, I appreciate Deion Sanders for everything he did for the HBCU community. I do. And I appreciate everything Ed Reed is going to try to do. I have a very close friend of mine that goes to Bethune-Cookman. He plays at Bethune-Cookman. And I've heard about struggles there for 3 years now, you know? And I know they had hurricanes and stuff, and I understand at the campus. I didn't know until my friend had told me. He's like, he wasn't living on campus. Like, you couldn't live on campus. So I know that they're dealing with that, but I appreciate people that would challenge people in positions of authority and make sure that they're held accountable. Because as you see, everyone has their struggles. He wasn't wrong when he said that. It may not be facilities. There are people preaching where we have great facilities. Every school everywhere has problems. My brothers and my dad both play. All of them played for Florida State. I had an uncle that played at Louisiana Monroe. So I come from an athletic family. I come from a family of people that went to college. I know every college has struggles. We can't sit here and preach that we want to help ourselves. And when people call us out, we sit here and get mad. We can get mad at the way he called us out, but we got to hear what he's saying because we do need help. I want people to know we need help. We do. There are people actively helping us. We just need more help. You can never have too much help. Everywhere needs some help. You feel me? Like I watched the locker room change here at FAMU. I want as much as I don't like that school down the road, I don't want to see a black man struggle. I don't want to see somebody like me struggle. So I want that to be able to happen for them. You know, I want them to be able to have stuff like that too. So if it takes for him to do that, for people to be like, all right, we're gonna give you what you want. Because I want Bethune to be like, all right, we'll give you what you want. You better make something happen. If they go back at him and do something like that, I feel like everything will work out for them. Because they got players. I know they have players. I done played them. I done lost to them and beat them. I done up the score. We done up the score them. I understand. You know what I mean? I have like my friend, he's a great athlete for them. He is one of their top players. So for us to talk, I appreciate that I have friends that are in the SWAC so I can get knowledge of what's going on in other schools. A lot of schools have problems. You know, I have friends at Power Fives that complain. I got friends hitting me up like, "Dang man, what fam look like?" And I'm like, "Nah, you over there? Like, it ain't green over there." Yeah, let me know like, "Nah, it ain't really that. It's not really green." So I know everywhere has struggles. So for people to sit here and say, "Well, my school is so perfect, how don't include us?" No, we're all included. Maybe not to the same extent as everybody, but we all have problems, and we all could use some help. The way he called him out may not have been right, but I hope people heard the message. We need help. I appreciate that he went out there and was trying to clean up. I appreciate that. I played for Corey Fuller in high school. I remember watching my coach. He asked somebody to cut the grass because we needed to practice. They said no. He went home, got his push lawnmower, and rode 2 whole fields by himself. I have seen it done. My dad has asked me to do stuff around the house. We'll sit around. He'll do it. I grew up with a father in the house that was gonna make something happen. So I appreciate seeing Ed Reed out there. One of my teammates was out there trying. One of my friends was out there helping. My dog was out there trying to help. So if you can see people trying to help them. Take pride in your university. It hurt me to see that a campus was dirty, and I don't feel like it takes a lot of money to make campus clean. You can get 40, 50 people just
Amen.
walk the campus and clean it. Their campus ain't huge. I feel the same way at FAM. If something wrong with campus, we can just it's stuff that goes on at FAMU that probably shouldn't go on. That's every university. Now I do feel like we got the better end of it. And that's what I gotta say about the Ed Reed thing. I feel like Bethune is gonna be a team to watch this year. I do feel like that. I would never downplay an opponent. I feel like that is a tough game every year. It's rivals. I know they got athletes. We all from Florida. We all from Florida. It's never a gimme game in Florida. If you know real Florida football, it's never a gimme game in Florida.
There you go.
Right. So what's your if you were the AD, we give you the keys, give you the position and the title as AD at Florida A&M University. You're now the AD at FAMU. What are the first 5 things you're going to do? Money's not an
That's lovely.
option. You can do. Money's not an option. It's there.
Money's not an option.
Money's not an option. What would you do?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I would close in the stadium. I would close in the football stadium, and I would redo the field house. That's probably the worst part about our field house. Looks good, and it is nice when you walk in, but I feel like we could use a little bit more space. I do, honestly. Um, I would get more people in certain places. I would get more people at the financial aid office. Every HBCU you go to is going to be problem at financial aid, and that's not something coaches can control. I want recruits to know that your coaches cannot control how fast your money get there. You got to do your end. You got to get all your paperwork and stuff in, and then it's in the university's hands. So I feel like I would get more people at. So I close in the stadium. That's one. I get more help in financial aid, and I get more help in academic advisement. So that's 2. Um, I personally would redo Gaither and make the basketball team play in there because I don't feel like I don't think that we can't pack out Lawson, but I don't think we have a big enough crowd at the moment to pack Lawson. But I know we could pack out Gaither. I would redo the baseball facility, and I would probably uh, I would try to start a graduate assistant program, a honest program, so that when people graduate, like it's a lot of people like me. Like I want to be a coach. I've dreamed of always being a coach. That's why I'm so adamant about trying to help recruit and like try to help get recruits because I know as a coach I got to do that. So I would help more people like me because I feel like there's a lot of dudes that get to the end of the road and they just jump into coaching because they know football and not because they want to be a coach. And I feel like there's a lot of dudes that could be great coaches, but all the eggs are in that one basket of football, and football doesn't work out. And they're just like, well, I'll just go try to go make some quick cash down at FedEx. I'll go get my CDL. So I get a graduate program. Those are the 5 things I do.
Nice.
Man.
Hey, Nick, let me ask this. Have you had an opportunity to meet VP Sykes yet? Our new AD. I know she's only been on the job a couple weeks. Have you had a chance to interact with her yet?
I just want to let everyone know that I have 100% faith in her. I had lunch with her. She DM'd me on Twitter. I was in Tallahassee, and she had lunch with me and my parents. She sat down and had lunch with me and my parents. We were there for about 3 to 4 hours, and she actually asked me what she needs to do to help student athletes. And she sat there and heard me for a long period of time, and I could talk anybody head off, and she wouldn't let me talk her head off. So I can honestly tell you, I have 100% faith in her. She our first team meeting back, she was front and center. She told us she is going to do what needs to be done, and she's going to challenge the people she has to challenge. So I have faith in her. She has a good track record. If you look into it, she has a pretty good track record. If you go back to her time at Grambling, she was at Grambling. She was just at a PWI. I think Dartmouth. She was just at Dartmouth too, I think. If you go, she hired Kentrell Kearney out of our Kentrell was pretty good. He was in our department. They hired him out to Dartmouth, and she came down and she got some more people in the office. I have 100% faith in her. I have met with her, talked with her. She is a people person, and this is her dream job. This is her dream job, and I hope that the people that I don't know who's above her. I hope the people that are above her help her too. I feel like it's a good. I hope that there's a good, healthy relationship. I feel like a lot of times at HBCUs we don't have healthy relationships. Sometimes we have good people on both sides, but they may not have the best relationship.
Strong
That boy
preaching.
preaching.
You preaching, Nick. You preaching. Hey, Nick, who would you say your personality is more like? I mean, who in your family? Mom, dad, aunt? You know, where's your personality come from? Just your who would you give credit to?
I'm gonna say 50-50 my mom and dad. I look exactly like my mom. I have my mom's attitude. My mom talks a lot, but I mean business like my dad too. Like I I don't have a problem getting my hands dirty. When I put my mind to it, I'm gonna work on something, and I have that inner kid at heart. But I'm gonna say I'm 50-50 down the middle. I'm the youngest of three boys. We all have different personalities. I'm the more outrageous one of my brothers. I'm the one that wouldn't shut up, but I say 50-50. It's got to be 50-50. And if not, it's 60-40 my mom. My mom is my honest to God twin.
Oh wow. Okay, that might be a future show.
So
We
she
might
plays
have to
spades then.
have you and mom on. Does she play spades? Does your
My
mom
mom,
play spades, Nick?
my mom and dad are spades partners. They're the only two people that you can catch them playing with. They won't play with nobody else.
So they know all their cheat
That's
codes and everything, right?
they know all they yeah.
We don't.
Do you
We're not allowed to play my parents in spades. We're not allowed to play my parents in spades. We're not allowed to play them in
love it?
spades.
I love it. Hey, I have
Hey,
to say, man.
Kelvin.
Yeah, I have to say, Nick, man. You ain't disappointed live, man. I feel threatened, man. You real good, man. You gotta. Hey, if the coaching thing don't work out, man, I believe you can do some media stuff, man. You know, because
Oh, hands
you
down.
yeah, and you come with facts, man. You talk with a lot of depth for a young person, right? A lot of the things that you mentioned in terms of if money wasn't an issue and what you would do at FAMU, boy, it sound like you've been watching our show, man, and we kind of see things the same way, man. You got to speak truth to power because silence is acceptance, and we want to be better. And the only way you can be better is to continue to push. But with that being said, man, I see you very active with recruiting, and talking about kids coming to family. First of all, I want you to talk about your experience and why recruits should come to FAMU, and you kind of laid out some of those things, and then just tell me how you see your role in hosting and when the kids come in hosting them and all that good stuff. How do you sell FAMU football?
Well, honestly, I didn't really see that great side of recruiting. I wasn't this highly recruited kid, and honestly, I wasn't a kid that many people at my. I don't really feel like many people at my own high school had a whole lot of faith in me to make it this far. So when I got my freshman year, I didn't redshirt, played a little bit. My sophomore year, I got hurt and had a red shirt, and I saw the different side of it. So going in the spring that year, I had Kamari Young, the starting tight end. I've known Kamari since I was 4 years old, 5 years old. So I had an opportunity. Kamari tore his ACL in the spring game on FAMU's. They hosted the spring game until last year at FAMU, and he tore his ACL. And I remember he was getting highly recruited, kind of sort of. It was about to blow, and I saw everything was going to come downhill for him. And I remember talking to him. I was like, "Would you come to FAMU?" Like, I like it. You know me? You know me. I won't lie to you. It's a great time. Like, what I tell recruits is this: your relationship with your coach is what you make it. If your coach trusts you, your relationship is going to be good. How many good relationships do you have with people that you don't trust? So that's on you. Coach Simmons is going to go off what the position coach says. It's not like you just hang with Coach Simmons every day. You with your position coach and the strength coach every day. So that relationship is what you make it. I tell them the football is good. It's athletes everywhere. I haven't played a team that was just full of just bad football players since I've been here. So you're gonna play some quality football. It feels like great high school football in Florida. Like that's the atmosphere. You're playing in front of 25,000 people that look like you. 20,000 people that look like you. That's a great feeling. We got good gear. They ask like we got good gear. That checks it off. Dorms, you're not gonna find a college dorm that you want to live in besides an apartment. So do your freshman year in the dorm and go to an apartment. We got good dorms. It's a dorm though. Like, it's what you make it. Academic side, you go to class, you do your work, you'll probably pass. If you do the work and you go to class, those things go hand in hand. You'll probably pass. That's on you. Everything is really on you and what you make it. And for guys, it's easy. The ratio is 17 women to 1 man. It's beautiful black women on campus. Like it's easy selling points to recruits. And since I've been here, I've had a good time. I've been on each side of it. I've been on every side of the board. I've been a guy that's maybe tripped and stumbled here that needed some help. I've been a guy that grabbed a brother and took him along with him. So being the older guy on the team now, I can look back on my whole career and be like, I'm glad FAMU gave me a chance. I don't know if at a bigger university they would have took the time to save me or help me or be a good coach to me. They might have just been like, all right, we can just go get another dude like him. We can just we throw him away, let him hit the portal. Like FAMU is a great place. You're gonna grow up here because you're gonna have some accountability about yourself. I think that's the thing that HBCUs do, and that's why some people don't make it out of HBCUs because you're gonna have to grow up on your own. I'm in Tallahassee with my parents, and I'm still having to grow up. It's people from all over. You 600 miles away from your people. You 700. You're gonna have to grow up. Everybody ain't gonna stop and just ask you, "Are you having a great day?" No, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but you're gonna have to make it. You got to get up every day, put your shoes on, and go get it. FAMU football. If you are a recruit out there with a FAMU football offer, I would commit. I'm telling you to commit. And if you are one of my homeboys that I have talked to, come home. Hit the portal. Come home. If you one of them dudes that's complaining about where you at, you don't feel wanted, and y'all know if I'm talking to you that you gonna be able to play here, and that my coach probably like I probably done showed my coach your film, this and that, whatever. Y'all know how relationships work. So if I've talked to you, I'm telling you, come home. Let's bring a ring to Tallahassee. Let's do that. That'll be cool.
Yeah. Well, he got me fired up.
That boy,
you got us fired up, Nick.
I gotta ask this one though, because you were the host of the Orange and Green Day draft last year. How was that, bro? And are you gonna be the chief host this year? That's what I want to know.
So it's funny that happened. Last year, I've mentioned I got hurt a couple of times. Last year, I tore my quad in February 15th. I'll never forget. I was in the weight room, routine power clean, caught it, my quad tore. I tore a tendon in my quad. So I'm back. I know the football. I know the offense. I'm coaching, helping out, signaling. I got to be involved. And the spring game came around. No guy wants to have to just sit. And Coach Simmons noticed. He probably noticed. I've never talked to him about this. He probably noticed. I'm out there and I'm engaged. I'm having fun. It's not Nick. I'm sad. I'm not playing football, dude. It's another year. It's another spring. Something's happened. I'm hurt. Not the best. But he knows that I love to talk. He knows that. So he asked me. He was like, he didn't even ask me actually. They sent out the little thing. They sent the flyer and it said that I was gonna be the host. And I was like, oh. And I remember going home. I was telling my parents, and I was like, yeah, I've never done something like this before though. Like I've never had to mediate nothing. I've never had to do something like this on camera. And I remember when I walked in there, LaTroy Johnson, he's our director of player personnel. He told me, he's like, just be you. He's like, sometimes we're gonna tell you stop talking, or you gonna make you talk too much. He's like, but just be you. He's like, have fun, be you. That's why we chose you. And when he said that, I was like, all right. He wanted me to be me. I'm gonna be me. And this year, trying to stay healthy so I don't have to. If the coaches are watching, if y'all draft me high enough, then you can give me the mic. Now I'll do the rest of it. Just make sure that I'm one of the top picks, and I can make sure everybody else get picked, and I give y'all a show. But you can't have me going late. I can't be one of them late picks now. I'm pretty good. I say so myself.
Work it.
That's a great preview. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna pray on great health for you, so that way you can get drafted early. And that was that was a good time. So hey, Nick, before we let you go ahead and we'll give you the last word. Any shout out you want to give? Make sure you plug your social media one more time for everybody. We really appreciate you coming on, man. You're a true blessing, man. And we got to do this more. So go ahead. I'm gonna turn it over to you and let you get a plug.
I want to shout out my mom and dad because I was talking to them. I hope I made y'all proud. I hope I didn't say anything that y'all went against. Still gonna be me. Y'all know that. I want to shout out Coach Simmons for taking a chance on the kid from Tallahassee, man. Kid that was at Godby High School, didn't have no offers. You let me walk on and earn a scholarship, man. I really do appreciate you for that. I love you to death for that. I know we butt heads sometimes. I know I aggravate you, but I do appreciate the relationship we have. You've done a lot for me, and I always feel like I go to you. And to recruits out there, this is not a fake. It's not a facade. It's not me putting on. I want you to kind of fan you. I thought for the longest that I wanted to be this Power 5, #1 guy in America, all-star recruited. And it sounds good. It's great. But I wouldn't trade this for the world. I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't go back or do anything different. I love every choice I've made because it made me the man I am today. And I am more comfortable in my skin than I've ever been. I get challenged every day, and it's gonna make a man out of you. You don't want to go somewhere where somebody got to hold your hand the whole time. You get into the real world and you a little kid. I came here at 18, and I know I don't have the mind of an 18-year-old. I know I've grown up. I got friends at a lot of them universities y'all love. A lot of them universities y'all put in y'all top 5, and they hitting me up by FAMU. I'm gonna leave y'all with that.
Hey, that's a mic drop, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's
go. Nick Dixon _ throw it up to 88 on Twitter. Throw it up to _88, I believe, on Instagram. Go follow, and just make sure you show my man some love. Yeah, what do you got to say?
So, no. Like, do you have any Neil deals like right now?
Nah. I ain't never really. I'm not. I say this. I don't want anybody to look at my stats and judge me. I'm not a guy that got all the stats. I'm not the Xavier Smith. I'm not the K Dot. But I'm telling you, y'all gonna feel me this year, and everybody's gonna know who I am. So if you want to jump on the bandwagon early, you can. I'm not asking for no crazy money. I'm not asking for anything. I just want you to give a kid a chance to show you that I'm worth it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I can
Dr.
think of
no
better
and
guy
all
to
them that's
represent.
out there, y'all heard this man. He needs some
Exactly.
deals. We need to see what we can do.
Yeah, we got to get this young man taken care of because you want someone like this. Where you just heard the pitch. That was an excellent pitch to these recruits out there. No one could have said it better, maybe other than Coach Riz or Coach Simmons. So you guys out there, Rattler Nation, let's make sure we take care of Nick. Show him some love. Hit up the website, the Rattler Exchange, And this is the kind of young man you want representing your business, your entity. Nicholas Dixon, ladies and gentlemen. Throw it up to 88. Wow, Nick, you blessed us with a great one tonight, man. Thank you. Good luck the rest of this quarter, this semester. We look forward to seeing you out on the field at spring practice, and then we'll talk. We'll talk later. I know we will. We'll talk again. And God bless you, man. Be well, and thanks again. All right.
Yes, sir. No problem.
All right. Nicholas Dixon, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a break.